I finally cracked the code to the biggest problem in AI video, realistic dialogues.
Wait, so are you telling me that I can lip sync on any AI video generated of me?
People say there's something about me that feels off, and I don't think they're wrong.
If I hadn't told you I was AI, you would still feel it. Something in the rhythm, something in the way I speak.
I'm talking about characters talking for 30 seconds straight with no drifting and perfect lip sync. So after hundreds of generations, I finally landed on 3 different workflows that actually work. So in this video, we'll break down each of these workflows with multiple use cases. At the beginning, I was trying to figure out which tool was the best to handle everything that I wanted. And that was actually my first mistake, because not all AI videos are the same. Think cinematic videos, explainers, but then there is UGC ad content or testimonial style content. And that's where everything broke, because I couldn't hide the AI mistakes anymore. So I stopped looking for one tool, and instead I started building a whole workflow for different types of videos. And that's what led me to these 3 approaches. And together they cover pretty much everything that you need to create right now. My first workflow is my go-to when I need to create something polished, something cinematic, or even when I want to create a UGC ad or a testimonial. But bear in mind, this workflow is the best if you want to create short videos like 12-second maximum. We'll see later on the second workflow, which is better for 30 to 60-second videos. Step 1 is the foundation, and it's critical. So before anything else, I prefer to start with character creation. In my case, I use Nana Banana Pro in Hakefield, but you can also use Midjourney or any other tool to create your first image. But what I like about Nano Banana Pro is that it forces photorealism. It fixes every little thing that looks like AI, like the skin, the micro details, and natural symmetry. And this step is really important because if your base character looks plastic or looks fake, the video model will not be able to save that. So here we're on Hakefield, and in this video I want to show you a couple of use cases that I've had. For example, this one is just a cowboy holding a drink. This is a cinematic vibe that I wanted to shoot for. Like I said, with Nano Banana, you get amazing results like this one. As you can see here, I've also tried to use Seedream, and in this case, Seedream was a bit more realistic. So as you can see, I will vary between Nano Banana and Seedream. This scene also is a girl on the phone, quite afraid. One of the use cases was just a testimonial of a fitness girl who kind of tried a magic pill to lose weight. Here you can actually see all of the tests that I've done. This one will be a use case for like a UGC ad for a matcha. And as you can see, you get insane photorealism, especially with this iPhone look. And this last use case was just a CEO for a testimonial video. For some cases, I wanted to get even more realism, especially for the skin. So in Hakefield, you have a tool that is called Skin Enhancer that is really handy. So you just have to go to Edit and Skin Enhancer. And then as you can see, you can do a soft skin, a realistic skin, and imperfect skin. So I started with imperfect skin, as you can see here, and you can have the comparison here. So it made a huge difference, but it was way too much for me. So I finally went with like the realistic skin that is slightly better. So once I had the character logged in with Nana Banana Pro or Seedream, I moved to video generation. For this workflow, I mainly use VO 3.1. And the main reason is that because it's the most accurate one for lip syncing. For example, let's take a look to the cowboy example.
Be honest with yourself for a second. If I hadn't told you I was AI, you would still feel it. Something in the rhythm, something in the way I speak.
That's just small things that makes it more realistic. I've also tried Seedance 1.5 that's just been released, but the results are not as good as VO3. Let's take a look.
Be honest with yourself for a second. If I hadn't told you I was AI, you would still feel it. Something in the rhythm, something in the way I speak, not wrong.
It's a bit less high quality if you compare it to VO3. For example, like in this case of the fitness pill, it got me way better result than VO3. Let's take a look.
I was honestly skeptical. Weight loss pills usually don't work. But this one, it actually helped me stay consistent. I felt less hungry, more stable. And that made a real difference.
You see, like especially the end where she comes forward and she just makes it more human. So now let's compare it to VO3.
I was honestly skeptical. Weight loss pills usually don't work. But this one, it actually helped me stay consistent.
Yep, so as you can see, this has a bit of a glossy look, which I don't really like, a bit of AI look. The sound is not the best, but we're going to work on that later on, don't worry. But the best example of VO3 was this one with the UGC matcha girl.
People say there's something about me that feels off, and I don't think they're wrong. It's not a mistake or a glitch or a bad line of code.
As you can see, everything was nearly perfect. Last example that I want to show you is the girl on the phone who's a bit afraid.
Hey, it's me. I'm scared. Someone's outside, I think. Just don't hang up. Please stay on the line.
Again, we can see here that VO3 holds up pretty well for the lip syncing. But as you saw, the main issue that I had with VO3 was the voice. So obviously the third step of the workflow was to work on this audio layer. And for that, I went to 11 Lab to their voice generator. So here it is, and you just have to go to voice changer here, and it's pretty straightforward. You just have to drag and drop your file. So for example, let's take the girl on the phone VO3. And I'm just going to put it here, and then I'm going to select the voice that I want just here, just change the parameters that I want, and click on generate speech.
Hey, it's me. I'm scared. Someone's outside, I think.
and you can just download it here. By the way, you also have a lot of free credits, so I didn't even have to pay this solution. So then when I had my video and the voice, I just went to my editing software to match them together. So for example, this was the video of the fitness girl I was talking about, the pill, that I generated using VO3. And then in green, I just added the 11 lab voice. And you'll see that it sounds way better.
I was honestly skeptical. Weight loss pills usually don't work. But this one, it actually helped me stay consistent.
Here is another example with the cowboy man. So this first one is just the voice of 11 lab. And the second one is a bit of ambience I'm going to show you. And the two together looks like this.
Be honest with yourself for a second. If I hadn't told you I was AI, you would still feel it. Something in the rhythm, something in the way I speak.
As you can see, adding this layer of real voice, real audio makes a huge difference. But at this point of my research, I kind of like hit the wall because the workflow that I showed you worked perfectly if I want to do small videos with a little bit of editing. But what if I want a testimonial for like 30 seconds straight? So that's when I had to find another workflow that completely changed the game for me. So maybe you guys heard of Kling 4.6. If not, I did a whole video talking about it. I will put the link above and below if you want to watch it. But basically, they just released a new feature where you can actually voice act any sequence and transform it into an AI sequence of like 30 seconds. So that was kind of like my eureka moment. So I just started recording myself with my phone. I added natural pauses, inflections, and some imperfections that make it natural and human. Obviously, I also added my French accent. And then the second step was basically the same one as the first workflow. So having a character that could be solid. So I used the same character as before using Nano Banana and Seedream. And the third step was bringing everything together into Kling. So in his field, it was pretty simple. I just added my video here and the photo of the scene that I wanted to act in. And I didn't add any prompt actually. And then I selected Kling motion control. And what is nice with Hex field, you get actually 5 generation for free. So I have 2 left here. And let me show you what I got because it was so impressive. Wait, so are you telling me that I can lip sync on any AI video generated of me and that I can go for like 10, 15, 20, even 30 seconds and the quality is this good? I mean, that's just unheard of. That's amazing. So as you can see guys, she's mimicking the way that I talk and it made the whole footage way more human-like. Then I used it for another use case with the matcha girl here. Wait, so are you telling me that I can lip sync on any AI video generated of me and that I can go for like 10, 15, 20, even 30 seconds and the quality is this good? I mean, that's just unheard of. That's amazing. Yeah, so as you can see, that's the issue that I had. So it was a bit morphing in the background here and the people behind were a bit weird, like this guy is not working at all. 15, 20 even. So now that I have this footage, as you can imagine, the last step was just to change my voice with like a regular normal woman voice. So again, I did that with 11 Labs with the same method that I showed you before. And when you put it all together, something magical happens.
Wait, so are you telling me that I can lip sync on any AI video generated of me and that I can go for like 10, 15, 20, even 30 seconds and the quality is this good? I mean, that's just unheard of. That's amazing.
So I just thought that was by far the best result that I had. Even though my acting wasn't the best, there was still this natural rhythm that made everything seems normal. And to be honest, that was basically it until I came across this video on Instagram where this creator was showing a brand new workflow using HeyGen. And when I tested it on a 30-second monologue, I realized that I needed to add it in this video. So we're gonna see this workflow. It is the simplest one, but it has also a lot of flows. And the workflow is basically this. Again, you have to have your character in Nano Banana Pro or Seedream locked in on photorealism, and then I just brought it to HeyGen. So you just have to go to create here, photo to video. For example, I'm going to take the girl on the phone and just drag and drop here. Here you're just going to add your script and select the voice that you want. As you can see, you have a lot of voices. So let's take this one, for example, and you just have to click on generate video. So as you can see, the maximum is 30-second max. And on the free version, I think you have 3 generations. And that's basically the whole process. And as you can see, I did like 3 generations with different use cases. So the cowboy was the least that I like. Let me show you.
Be honest with yourself for a second. If I hadn't told you I was AI, you would still feel it. Something in the rhythm, something in the way I speak.
As you can see, it's a bit too robotic, so I didn't like it. Let's take a look at the matcha girl.
People say there's something about me that feels off, and I don't think they're wrong.
As you can see, it's a bit better, but it looks a bit too much AI-ish. But the best result that I got was this one, so it was just a talking head of a CEO.
Before working with this agency, our issue wasn't traffic, it was clarity. We were testing channels, spending budget.
So in this case, it's just perfect because I wanted something static. So then I did a little bit of editing. First of all, I removed the blank spaces to make it more dynamic. And second of all, I added a background music. So let's take a look.
We were testing channels, spending budget, but decisions felt reactive. They rebuilt our messaging, aligned creatives with real data, and introduced a process we could trust. Within weeks, acquisition stabilized and reporting finally made sense. As a CEO, having marketing that's structured and repeatable changed how we grow.
So as you can see, the lip sync was spot on, there was no character drift. Alright, so let's break it down. We have 3 workflows, which one to choose in which cases. Workflow number 1, if you want to create short videos of 12-second maximum with a little bit of movement, like cinematic videos, ads, explainer, dynamic content, and for that you're going to use Nano Banana or Seedream for your character, then VO 3.1 or Seedance for the video generation, and then 11 Labs for the voice. Cost-wise, it's medium to high. These tools aren't really expensive, but VO3 is the most expensive one, and you probably need a couple of generations to get it right. Workflow number 2, if you want to create longer videos like 30 seconds plus, where you really need that authentic feel. So it's going to be especially for ads or explainer videos, but also cinematic dialogues. Here you will have to do the acting yourself, then use a character created with Nano Banana, then use Click Motion to generate the video, and 11 Lab for the voice. The cost I would say is medium. The tools themselves aren't the most expensive, but it requires your time to do the voice acting, so you're kind of like trading money for effort. Workflow number 3, if you want to create 30 seconds talking head video with no movement, so you can use it for professional content, talking head, or testimonials. And here the process is pretty straightforward. So you take your character from Nano Banana, you put it in HeyGen, and you add the script, and that's basically it. The cost is low to medium, and that's definitely the fastest workflow, but that's only suited for one application. So as you can see, the real skill in AI right now is not really mastering one platform. Instead, it's about knowing how to combine each tool to get the result that you want. And if you want to know how to make a UGC AI ad, I made a whole tutorial just here. In the meantime, let me know below in the comment section what you're working on right now and which workflow you want to try out first, or maybe if you found something different that worked for you. I read every single comment, and honestly the feedback that you give me kind of like shapes the next videos. And also don't forget to hit that subscribe button because I'm releasing videos like this one every week. So that's it guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.